Good morning or good afternoon, depending on when you're going to watch this video. Today for math, we're going to get into a new section called cross sections. So you maybe were wondering why I'm wearing my MI construction hat. No, this is not a construction zone behind me. It's my basement, basically. But I was thinking about cross sections and the concept of a cross section. Cross sections are basically this. They are 2D slices of three-dimensional objects. And I was thinking to myself that construction people, like MI Homes and people that work on construction sites or wear hard hats, would be people that slice things up or slice beams and slice boards and slice walls and that kind of stuff. So we'll talk about a couple of key terms up here in a minute, and then we'll get you ready for your day. So first of all, just a quick example when you're talking about some of these things. For example, if I take a cylinder, I would show a solid line in the front where I can see that piece, but then anything you can't see, you typically want to show as like a dotted line. And you can start to practice writing some of these or drawing some of these pictures kind of like this throughout this topic. So some of the key words are going to be horizontal and vertical. Horizontal, we know horizontal is going to be like side to side, kind of like the horizon. Okay, the horizon, you look out across the grass or the skyline or the mountains, you look across the horizon, you look from side to side as you look out across the horizon, which is why the word horizontal is from side to side. Vertical is going to be like this, up and down. And you can think about vertical as a lot of things, like vertical blinds inside of a house. Many people probably have vertical blinds in their house, or even just like a vertical with your jump. What's your actual jump from starting in the ground, jumping how high can you jump? That's your quote unquote vertical for basketball, things like that. All right, so some other things to be talking about would be this word here, the plane. Does not mean like a plane that some of you took this past week or had canceled this past week when you didn't go to spring break. It's not the kind of plane you fly on. It's a plane that's going to be like this. It's basically a sheet of paper, like a flat sheet of paper, okay, like this, that I could then use to chop my three-dimensional solid, okay, into pieces, and I can cut across it. So a plane would maybe look something like, let's see if we can try and draw this. Like this. And okay, so something like that, where it's going to shoot right through here. It's going to shoot right through here. So it's a big piece of paper that shoots right through the middle. But when I cut through the center there, what's it going to form is it's going to form a circle. So this would be what we would call a horizontal plane right here. There's a horizontal plane, and it's a cross section, and the cross section that it creates is right here. This is the cross section, okay? So that's the cross section that's formed. In this case, we would get a circle. Now, you can cut this in different ways. You can actually cut this up and down, and you'd find out that you get something completely different. And you'll see that in some of the videos that you're going to do later on. You could take this piece of paper and you could tilt this piece up and this piece down, and I could do it at an angle, and all of a sudden I'm going to get a completely different shape on the inside of here. And again, you'll see lots of this in the videos that you have coming your way, but then you can get to the point where you're going to have things like this. This is going to provide like an oval. You'll see this later on, not called an oval, but they'll call it an ellipse. An ellipse is a fancy name or a technical term for an oval. So we know what cross sections are. We know what horizontal, vertical, plane are. These are simply words that I put on here. As you're going through your document, you're going to go through a Word document today. It's a Schoology assignment. It's worth 9 points. There's a small progress check in there today as well. And Schoology, that is worth, I believe, 8 points. So today gets 17 possible points. And I think you're going to probably do pretty good at that. Use these words. Use things like the size will vary based on the angle of the cross section. So as you're talking about your cross sections today, use as many of these terms and other terms as possible. Okay, so is it a horizontal cross section plane? Is it a vertical plane? Talk about the size of these shapes. Talk about the base of the pyramids. We should also know that pyramids come to a point. Okay, so if it's a pyramid, then it's going to come to a point. If it's more of a prism, okay, and this is going to be a pyramid. But if it's a prism, it look a little bit more like this. Okay, it's kind of a rough drawing, but prisms have the same base here and the same base here. So prism has two of the same base. So use some of the proper terms, pyramid, prism, horizontal, vertical, plane, as you go through and talk about your work today. So again, we chose cross sections. I chose the construction helmet because I was thinking of things that are being cut up in pieces or sliced up. The only other mask we come up with was this one, the old hockey mask. So Jason, but that was kind of mildly inappropriate because Jason hated a chainsaw, so that's about it. So maybe cutting up some lumber, some logs, some trees. So maybe hockey. I don't know. They really cut a lot of things in hockey. So we'll get rid of the hockey mask. We'll go back to the lumber or the MI hat. So that's about it. Cross sections. Enjoy today. Good luck today. If you have any questions about any of the material, remember 1:30 to 2:30 every day is a conference. You don't have to be on your math day to join the conference. Please sign up on the conference sheet so I know you're going to be there. Make sure that there's somebody else with you in the conference, myself, and then we get a small group of people. We can talk about any questions that you had during the day. If you have any questions, I'll see you at conference time between 1:30 and 2:30. Thanks a lot. Good luck. Bye-bye.